Coming up next on Making Moves, how JTA is battling higher fuel costs to keep its buses on the road. Hurricane season is here. We'll tell you what to do if the call to evacuate goes out.
Is Northeast Florida really going to get a regional transportation plan? I'm Terry Casey. Coming up, an update.
And JTA's Rocket Man throws strikes at the Jacksonville Suns game. I'm Joyce Morgan Danford. Stay tuned for those stories and much more next on Making Moves.
We live in a global community where information can be delivered instantly. But having access to information and getting accurate information don't necessarily go hand in hand. That's where we come in. We are Making Moves, the First Coast's premier source for transportation news. At Making Moves, we strive to deliver timely, reliable, and pertinent information about the transportation stories that affect our community. From transit to roads, we've got it covered. Making Moves, now on Facebook.
Welcome to JTA Making Moves. I'm Joyce Morgan Danford. Michael Blaylock is here. He'll be joining me in just a moment. We begin, though, with some news about the Regional Transportation Center JTA hopes to build in La Villa, directly across from the Prime Osborne Convention Center. Outgoing Mayor John Payton is asking City Council to pass an ordinance giving 14 parcels of land around the Prime Osborne to JTA. Now, a new Greyhound bus terminal will be built on one of those parcels between Houston and Adams Streets. The Greyhound station would be the first step in the construction of the long talked about multimodal transportation center. Besides Greyhound, JTA hopes to move Amtrak downtown and add commuter and intercity rail service, as well as a regional traffic management center, enhanced bus service, retail shops, and much more at this La Villa location. JTA Executive Director and CEO Michael Blaylock joins us now. And you got to tell the viewers what this really means, this action that the mayor is proposing for us.
George, this is exciting news. It's exciting for downtown Jacksonville. It's exciting for the final realization of the Regional Transportation Center. So this starts the process. It's been a continuing process, so you will see Greyhound relocated to that area, the soon-to-be construction of our downtown bus rapid transit interface, and then of course the ongoing discussions with Amtrak in terms of its relocation downtown. So it's really exciting for downtown Jacksonville.
One of the things under this proposal that's kind of unique is that JTA will have 3 years to build on this land, or it reverts back to the city. Can all of this happen this quickly?
Absolutely, and that's why the timing is so important. Once this legislation is approved, then we will immediately finish the final design, planning for the facility, and commence work as early as December this year.
You know, it's always nice when the mayor gives his stamp of approval, but it still has to go through City Council. Do you see any stumbling blocks there?
No, because I think everybody considered this a community effort. I mean, the relocation of Amtrak to that area, relocation of Greyhound, and creating this new synergy for a regional transportation hub is important to a lot of people.
Okay. Well, now on to the weather. It's June, so we can expect the tropics to start heating up soon. Forecasters from the National Ocean and Atmospheric Administration say that they expect an above-average Atlantic hurricane season with 3 to 6 major hurricanes developing over the next 6 months. Major hurricanes carry wind speeds in excess of 111 miles per hour. Now, should one of those storms take aim at the First Coast, one question you need to ask yourself: are you and your family properly prepared? While no one likes to think about it, the threat of a hurricane is part of our lives from June to November. So preparation is the key to riding out a disaster. In fact, JTA officials say deciding your transportation needs is a priority. JTA will go into emergency mode when the evacuation order is issued. Once their families are safe, drivers will report to work to begin picking up passengers at any JTA bus stop. Some passengers don't know about the service, others do.
Well, I done read the signs on the bus, the little monitors. I know they'll take me where I need to be.
Karen Key is referring to the monitors on several buses with continuous evacuation information for the public. Most passengers are glad to know a transportation plan is already in place.
Well, you got some people that may not have cell phones or house phones, or may not be able to call a relative or a friend, and they may have no other resource but to get on the JTA.
Once you leave your neighborhood bus stop, then JTA will take you down to their 4 designated hubs. This one is at the Rosa Parks station. From there, a bus will take you to your designated shelter.
They have to bring items that can fit on their lap while the bus is in motion.
There are some things to keep in mind if you need public transportation. If you have special needs, you must register with the city. Keep in mind that Connection only picks up passengers from the city's list. The number to call is 630-CITY. Now, the furry members of your family must be registered so you can be assigned to a shelter that accepts animals. Large animals cannot come on the bus. Smaller ones need to be in their carriers. And just like the pickup, once the all clear is given, JTA buses will take residents back to their original stop. And you know, as we just reported, JTA is really responsible for transporting citizens to evacuation shelters if that's warranted. But JTA really works even closer with emergency officials on some other things.
Yeah, and Joyce, you know, the city does an incredible job in terms of the coordination of all the agencies working together doing those kinds of events, from communication to the mobility issues in terms of our role, and the fire department role, the police department role, and it's just a great effort, great collaboration. So it is important. There's a lot that goes behind the scenes with respect to.
Absolutely, a great partnership. And for a complete list of hurricane preparation ideas and tips, please visit the JTA website at jtafla.com. In other news now, soaring fuel prices are a constant concern for motorists everywhere. Well, it's also a concern for businesses like JTA that rely so heavily on fuel for its business needs. We asked JTA Deputy Director and CFO Blair Fishburne to tell us how the JTA is coping with the fluctuating costs of fuel.
This year's budget, fuel represented about just a little less than 10% of the total budget for the organization. Next year, given the assumptions that we have we're assuming fuel at about $3.86, $3.90 a gallon, that's going to go from just under 10% to almost 13% of our total budget. Well, we're trying to make it up on more efficiencies by doing route designs, and by also taking some of the larger buses off the road and using the community shuttle vehicles that are smaller vehicles to run in the neighborhoods, and we're planning on increasing our community shuttle routes from 7 to 14.
Then, you know, the airline industry also has to deal with the fuel issues, but when the costs go up, their ticket prices go up. So how is JTA able to not have a higher ticket price?
You know, Josh, that's a very good question.
It is.
It's a very good question. I think that one of the things that we are recognizing is that because of the high fuel prices, we are seeing some of the increases in our ridership. And so we're sort of incentivizing people to participate and try transit. So during this season of high fuel prices, I think now more than ever you should try transit.
Oh, absolutely. A good price. Well, we're well aware now that Florida's high-speed rail project is no more. You may remember back in April when Governor Rick Scott refused $2.4 billion in federal monies to fund phase 1 of a system that would have traveled along I-4 between Orlando and Tampa. Well, that money has since been distributed between 15 other states for various transportation projects. Well, the Viper team made an unannounced stop in Jacksonville last month. The team of highly skilled federal air marshals spent several hours canvassing the Rosa Parks Transit Station looking for any unusual or suspicious activity. A division of Homeland Security, the Viper team focuses on keeping transportation centers safe for the traveling public. This was the Viper's second visit to Rosa Parks in the past 3 months. Last month, JTA bus driver Ramon Farfan proved he was one of the top drivers in Florida by finishing second in the state's bus driving competition. Well, now Farfan has outdone himself by placing fourth overall in the North American Championships. Farfan competed against some of the top drivers from transit agencies across the U.S. and Canada. He has been driving with JTA for the past 10 years, and he is also the three-time defending JTA driving champion. And Mr. Blaylock, what a great thing to have one of your drivers do so well on such a large stage.
A big stage it is, Joyce. I mean, it is just, it's a very, very highly competitive event. And you're talking about competing against the nation's best drivers. And to place fourth is a lot to be said about that. So we're really, really excited about Ramon's effort. And next year we'll win it all.
Oh, absolutely. Nerves of steel he has. Well, still to come on Making Moves, we'll talk with the new JTA Mass Transit Director, Clinton Forbes, to hear his long-term plans for the authority's transit division and how that might affect you.
Is Northeast Florida really going to get a regional transportation plan? I'm Terry Casey. Coming up, an update.
I was looking to jumpstart my career, and Florida Coast Career Tech has the reputation of being the best.
If a student comes to Florida Coast Career Tech, they will end up with a career they love.
I've learned more about HVAC in 3 weeks than I have in my entire construction career.
I'm learning a lot here because the instructors are great.
Florida Coast Career Tech students are trained so well, they can hit the ground running.
Florida Coast Career Tech helped me do this.
This is the fourth month in a row our sales have been flat. We've got to find a way to reach some new customers.
Hey, I have an idea.
We've tried everything. Newspaper ads, flyers, radio. Nothing seems to be working. I just don't know what we're going to do.
Hey, wait, I have an idea.
We have a great business. There's just got to be a way to reach more customers.
Listen, I have an idea. What about JTA?
The bus people? How can they help us reach more customers?
Think about it. Our ads on the side of buses driving all over the city. Or maybe one of their new fancy bus shelters. They even have their own television show called Making Moves. We could run ads on the show. We would reach thousands of people.
Now that's a great idea.
Let JTA help you connect with your customers. We have transit advertising options for nearly every budget. Call our corporate sales office at 630-3109 and let us put together a great package for you. Get creative. Advertise the JTA way.
There are many ways you can get from point A to point B. We'd like you to consider ours.
The Regional Transportation Study Commission is shifting gears and getting some traction. The commission is nearly 6 months into a 2-year journey to come up with a regional transportation plan for the 7 counties of Northeast Florida. Our Terry Casey takes a look at where the commission stands now and where it may be heading.
Transportation, development, and a host of issues that touch our lives every day don't stop at county lines. The idea of a regional plan means going beyond just acknowledging that. And the commission is moving in that direction.
And we're at the point now where we've defined our goals.
Putnam County's Vernon Myers says a list of goals is a big deal. Number 1 on that list?
And maybe the top goal is a comprehensive economic development outcome.
Ed Burr said counties can make it happen if they work together. He was among experts in a Q&A session that focused on regional transportation and economic development.
You know, you want the Europeans, the Asians to think about us as a region, not a city. So branding the region is important to identify, so that we have name identification, geographic identification from our potential customers throughout the country and throughout the world.
Any plan will have to benefit all counties in a diverse region and ease uncertainties.
There's no question that each one will have benefit.
Michael Breen of the Jacksonville Chamber was part of that panel of experts.
I think there'd be advantages to the individual counties because each one would have a component of the overall program.
What about a sales pitch to the counties?
If it takes a sales pitch, we're missing the point. This is something that almost should be natural for counties to aspire to. You can't be as strong individually as you can be collectively. Our other regional partners throughout the state have already determined this.
So what about members of the commission? They're several months into the process now, and they have to agree on a final plan. But is everybody on board?
I think that right now, if you were to say, what's the biggest thing we've done so far, it truly is getting the buy-in, if you would.
Elaine Brown is president of the Northeast Florida Regional Council. She says buying into the idea is crucial.
So that when you look at the overall and you look at a few months from now, you're going to see, guess what? We're getting regional buy-in.
Of course, economic development is the #1 driver of all of this. That's what the regional transportation plan hopes to accomplish. That's what we're looking to accomplish in Putnam County, because Putnam County is the most rural of all the counties here. It's the only county which has no interstate going through it. So a regional transit plan and being part of it is very, very important to us.
So is he buying into the regional idea?
Absolutely.
This is Terry Casey for Making Moves.
And the commission has until December of next year to report back to the state legislature on this regional transportation plan. Well, it's not too late for you to make your pledge to dump the pump and try public transit. National Dump the Pump Day is coming up Thursday, June 16th. Now in its 6th year, National Dump the Pump Day is a day that really urges people to park their rides and try public transportation. You can join the movement by making your pledge to dump the pump. Just log on to the JTA website and click on Dump the Pump icon. You can also win some great prizes, all courtesy of JTA. Clinton Forbes took over the reins as JTA's new mass transit director about 8 weeks ago, coming to Jacksonville from Miami-Dade. We sat down with Forbes to get his thoughts on Jacksonville and the demands of running transit services for the largest city in the continental United States.
It doesn't take long to determine the #1 challenge of providing mass transit in Jacksonville. It's as easy as looking at a map, its sheer size and lack of density. And that's the #1 issue now facing Clinton Forbes. Forbes is the new mass transit director at JTA.
I come from a system in Miami-Dade where it's very dense and it's really easy to serve folks. It's very expensive to serve the Jacksonville area because just of how everything is laid out in the sprawl. So that's going to be a challenge.
One way JTA is already trying to address the problem of too much remoteness to cover effectively is through its community shuttles, a concept that Forbes supports.
So that's a better solution. It's more cost effective, and they really caught on with the community.
Forbes says he knows he has his work cut out for him, but is up for the challenge. On the job just a few weeks, Forbes has already laid out his top priorities.
We have to make sure that our passengers feel safe on our vehicles. The vehicles need to be on time. And we're in the public service. Our employees have to be courteous. When you walk into a restaurant and you're about to be seated, they greet you courteously and you want to come back to that restaurant. There's no different when you get on the bus. The bus operator should greet you with good morning and good afternoon. That's my top priority.
Forbes also wants to be more engaged with both his staff and the public. He plans to work with his customer base to help design the bus routes that they want and need, with one understanding.
We're mass transit and not individual transit.
One area Forbes says he wants to see more focus is on technology, specifically bringing real-time travel information to the customers.
If your rider knows where that bus is, even if it's a little late, it's comforting in them to say, okay, I can see that the bus is about 10 minutes behind schedule, but I have that information. We want to put that information in the customer's hands, and that's right around the corner.
In only a few short weeks, Clinton Forbes has put a lot on the table he wants to accomplish. He's confident he can make it all work for his employees and customers alike. In Jacksonville, Bill Milnes, JTA Making Moves.
The JTA chairman makes like Nolan Ryan as he throws out the first pitch for the Jacksonville Suns. We'll head to the ballpark when Making Moves returns.
You're watching JTA Making Moves, honored by the Florida Public Transportation Association with its 2010 Award of Excellence.
We're headed to the ballgame cause we got a great deal. Just $30 a month, the summer youth pass is a steal. With my summer youth pass I see the Suns for free. Every Wednesday and Sunday we're making history. So buy your summer youth pass to start all the fun. Watch the Suns for free. Now that's a big home run. For just 15 more bucks we'll throw in August too. But you better hurry, June 30th, the deal's through.
Call 630-3100 and ask about JTA's Summer Youth Pass. JTA, your key to summer fun with the Suns.
This is the 4th month in a row our sales have been flat. We've got to find a way to reach some new customers.
Hey, I have an idea.
We've tried everything. Newspaper ads, flyers, radio. Nothing seems to be working. I just don't know what we're going to do.
Hey, wait, I have an idea.
We have a great business. There's just got to be a way to reach more customers.
Listen, I have an idea. What about JTA?
The bus people? How can they help us reach more customers?
Think about it. Our ads on the side of buses driving all over the city. Or maybe one of their new fancy bus shelters. They even have their own television show called Making Moves. We could run ads on the show. We would reach thousands of people.
Now that's a great idea.
Let JTA help you connect with your customers. We have transit advertising options for nearly every budget. Call our corporate sales office at 630-3109 and let us put together a great package for you. Get creative. Advertise the JTA way.
There are many ways you can get from point A to point B. We'd like you to consider ours.
Welcome back to Making Moves. More than 900 people responded to a recent online poll asking, why do you ride the Skyway? Nearly 25% of respondents say they use the Skyway to get to or from work, while another 15% use it for sightseeing or pleasure, shopping, art walk, and other downtown events, and avoiding the parking hassles. Each picked up about 6% of the vote, while about 4% say they use the train to get to downtown restaurants. The two-time defending Southern League champion Jacksonville Suns joined with JTA to help celebrate National Transportation Week. The Suns held JTA Day at the baseball grounds, and JTA Chairman Michael the Rocket Man Cavendish threw out the first pitch.
The Jacksonville Transportation Authority, Michael Cavendish.
That's what I'm talking about, a perfect strike. Way to go, Mr. Chairman. JTA also gave out souvenirs to many of the nearly 7,000 patrons at the ball game. And the JTA also said thank you to thousands of its regular customers during Rider Appreciation Day, all part of National Transportation Week. Customers at the Rosa Parks Transit Station downtown were treated to JTA goodie bags, as well as some cold beverages and snacks. Members of the JTA executive team were also on hand to talk to passengers on how JTA can improve its transit service.
And it's always a good idea to connect with your customers. So this should not and is not the only day that we try to show our customers that we appreciate them. But this is certainly an opportunity for everyone to make a special effort to get out and tell our customers, communicate with them, talk to them about what some of their concerns are, what their expectations are, and get a good idea of what changes we need to make or what we need to be paying attention to as it relates to our customers.
I go to shopping centers anywhere I want to go, my doctor's appointment, and anywhere else I want to go, I hop on me a bus. That's what I do. Sometimes I just hop on me ride anyway just to get out the house.
It makes it handy for me to take the bus wherever I want to go, to a doctor's office or my hearing aids or wherever I want to go. Come downtown to be in the plaza or go out to the shopping center. It's a great thing.
It's very important, and it's a very good bus ride, you know, and it's not high price, so, and it gets you where you need to go. I mean, we're going to Mandarin.
And thousands of the area's senior citizens gathered recently at the Prime Osborne Convention Center for the 2011 Senior Expo. And of course, JTA was on hand to greet the folks and talk about our many services. And plenty of the seniors actually took the time to stop by the Making Moves booth and ask about our show. So we want to thank everyone who came by. And of course, Michael, it's always good to talk with members of the community, events like the Senior Expo, the Writer Appreciation Day, just to hear what they have to say, what their thoughts are, and, you know, where we can make improvements.
Well, Jocelyn, keep in mind, 15% of our market base are seniors, and so we have to hear their voices. And so when we participate in those kind of venues, it's a good way to get good information and good exchange. So it's a good thing.
Absolutely. And before we go, Michael, we want to get your final thoughts.
Well, just two things. One is I really want to encourage the public to really pay attention to information regarding the hurricane season and being prepared. I just could not overstate that. And then secondly, I like to salute the city for such a great job on the Jazz Festival. The Skyway played a really incredible job, a very significant role in terms of the transporting of people in and around the Jazz Festival venues. It's a great thing for Jacksonville. It's a great thing for our region when we can have those kinds of high quality events in Jacksonville. So I salute the city.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I've always loved it at Metro Park, but downtown there was a different feel, and it was just what the city needed.
Yeah, it's a wonderful venue. The dining, the restaurants, the street vendors, all of the communities coming together. And Joyce, you have people traveling from all over the country.
That's right.
That's participating in the Jazz Festival. So it's a good thing for Jacksonville.
We loved it. And that wraps up this edition of Making Moves. Thanks for joining us today. If you missed any part of the show or just want to watch it again, complete episodes of Making Moves are always available online at jtafla.com. And of course, make sure to stay in touch with us on Facebook for the latest news on our show and exclusive content that you didn't see on today's broadcast. For Michael Blaylock and the entire Making Moves team, I'm Joyce Morgan Danford. We'll be seeing you the next time we're Making Moves.
Thank you.